after looks, what would you say are the most important qualities a woman must have?
She must be coachable. And what I mean by that is she's got to be willing to shut up and take orders, right? She's got to be like by your side at all times. And I always say like the best girlfriend is damn near your assistant. You know, she makes your life easier. If you're operating at 98%, she gives you that extra 2 to 3% to get that extra percentile to go to 100, 101. Like that's what a girl does. She stands behind you and helps you out and makes you better. Because as you grow as a man and you become.
How do you think that how does he not synergize, not recognize, how does he couple this with his don't ever live near women because they make you weaker or softer?
I guess you wouldn't live with an assistant.
Okay, so she's just assisting you, supporting you, reconcile, yeah. So she's assisting and supporting you from afar, or is it just the little bit of time you spend with her, she's spending with you building your business?
I guess. I don't even know what that looks like because they also say women don't really have value in business and corporate life, right? So it'd just be like mothering, but how is that like an assistant? Like how does that feminine role lead to assistant? I don't know.
True.
I don't really get it.
Do you feel coachable?
Coachable?
Yeah. I gave you orders to close the curtain earlier and you failed miserably.
I did it.
You walked into the kitchen and I had to say, like, Farha, really? And then you did. I'm just saying.
I'm coachable. I'm just stupid, okay?
But when it's the other way around, she looks for a better man. That's why I always argue women can't be in leadership roles. Because when she's in a leadership role, she's going to look to other men because women aren't natural born leaders. So
I said this. I think you disagree. I don't care. The idea that like men are natural born leaders and women aren't, 99% of people are natural born followers.
I never disagreed with that. We were talking about indoctrination.
Oh, no. I wasn't even referring to that conversation. I feel like I've argued with them in the past. I don't like this thing that men are natural born leaders. Most people are followers. Most men are followers. Most everybody's a follower. Leadership is a very, very rare quality, even among men. But
that's what it is. She's got to be coachable. That's once she meets the attraction threshold, right? Then from that point forward, she's got to be coachable because from there you mold her and make her a better woman. I know, oh my god. But the reality is, women want a guy that's dominant, that's going to make her the best woman she could be for him. There's going to be certain times though where I'm going to need to tell you something and I don't have to explain myself. And I think women need to be able to take orders from a man. Hey, I need you to do this. Hey.
I hope somebody asks for an example. I'm so curious what an example that would be. When is a time in your life where it's so dire that the woman is like, you got to do this, and she's like, what? And he's like, I don't have time to explain myself. Like, just do it.
Have you seen that? Was it Vice or Vox, the documentary on Andrew Tate that came out right after he was arrested?
I think it was Vice with the guy, right?
Yeah, it was like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's what all these men envision when they envision assistants. Like they imagine like that type of lifestyle. Like
wait, what lifestyle?
Like the footage he had of him walking into like Andrew Tate's estate in Romania, and then he has these like female assistants who I think he's also banging, he says.
He has every woman, yeah.
Because he's like doing this like, I guess, really intricate business and stuff.
True. I'm just curious, like what is like so time sensitive?
No, that's what I mean. I feel like even that it's not super necessary, but I don't know what these men think.
You do this, blah, blah, blah. And the thing with women is that a lot of times they're more concerned with how information is conveyed versus information being conveyed. If we're to...
I'm sorry, God. I hate this because it's like if you read, I wish that these guys would look at like more traditional literature in this field. 7 highly effective leaders or whatever. How to win friends and influence people. Like this idea of like women are concerned with how a message is conveyed, men are more concerned with the facts. That is absolutely not true. No matter who you're communicating with in life, the way that you convey a message is almost more important than the actual information that you convey. The idea that like men don't care and you can tell a guy to do anything in any way whatsoever is so. It's such a stupid point, and it shows like that's like the only way you could say that is if you've never worked with other people before. Like it's just such a disconnected from reality, business sense, like anything you could ever possibly believe. But
location, right? And I see something popping off that might put us in danger. I'm not going to sit there and be like, let me inspire you to be safe.
Something popping off that might put us in danger. Like these people act like they live lives like Rambo, right? Like somebody's breaking it, grab the gun. Like I need you to get me the 9, and she's like. What would she say? Like, well, are you sure you don't want the assault? I don't have time to answer. Just give me that gun. Like, what situations are they coming up in a daily basis that like this? Is like.
Well, didn't red pill originate from like lower socioeconomic backgrounds where like people do live in like more criminal areas and stuff? So I feel
but even in those cases, it's usually men that are the ones that are doing the. It's not like they've got their girls out on the street like slinging for them or like hiding the guns and like.
Like, I wish I could be like, hey, baby girl, clean that up, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, all right, keep it moving. I wish I could do that way, but I've realized that the way that I can speak to men is different than how I speak to women. And that's just, I mean, the ladies on the panel are sort of nodding. So how do you distinguish that? Meaning, like, we're 100% on the same page. It's raining outside. Go get some umbrellas.
It's so fun. This is just a personal example, and I'm not even trying to make a rule here, but I feel like the dynamic of the situation plays more than just if it's men or women or whatever. This is just like, I don't even know if I'm going to craft a general, but this is just something that I think of back in my casino days. If I was supervising a shift, front of house staff is usually women because women tend to be servers, and in the back of house usually you have cooks, right? Whenever there's a guy that worked in front of house. I'll just call him Jay. Okay, guy that worked front of house. Very rarely was on my shifts, but sometimes he was. Usually it was all women. I never ever ever had problems like, hey, Stacy, can you go do tables? Hey, can you do this? Blah blah blah. But when there was one guy there, I knew that he hated me because he was a guy and he wanted to flirt with all waitresses and anytime I gave him orders, like as a supervisor, he would always feel a type of way about it because I was like bossing him around in front of the women, and I always got more attitude and her talking to me more than any of the other girls there, just because of the dynamic, the fact that I was a supervisor and it was like 4 girls and 1 guy front of house. Not to say there's like a general rule, yes or no, but like that's just funny because I could think of that because that guy was always more of a little catty to me than any girls will. But
yeah, I guess they would say guys.
I don't need to be like,
always
so it'd be really
like, the higher tier positions, then only your underling should be female.
maybe, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I understand that as a man, I need to have the leverage, I need to be the leader, I need to be the dominant for her to actually respect me and want to be with me and submit to me. So knowing this, I have to have certain mannerisms and behaviors that stay congruent to that. So the thing that women are really good at detecting is incongruencies. If I purport myself to be a certain way, and then after a while she realizes this guy's kind of a blah, blah, that's going to make her get turned off even faster. Because now she sees, okay, this guy isn't for real. So you got to be 10 toes down with females all the time.
So you're doing it because you want her to feel like she's under you, pretty much. That's why you're giving her orders? What? Like because you're above her.
Why not just own that, Myron? He should just say yes. You want somebody that will submit to you. That means by definition you want somebody that will be under you. Notice how red pill guy, I always make fun of conservatives because conservatives do this. Conservatives will talk about how people on the left are snowflakes, but there are absolutely words. Bro, if you're talking to a conservative, if you ever want to like send them into a tiff, if you want to like blow their minds up, all you have to do is say the word problematic, toxic, patriarchy, feminism, like any of these words, and they're done. They'll like lose their mind. Even if you agree with them, if you say any of those words, they're like, their brain is broken. And like her phrasing it that way just triggered. But it's like, bro, just own it. You said you want somebody to submit to you. That means they're under you, bro. Like,
right. You're the one giving direction. You're the leader, so she's above or under.
Well, that's just how it is. I mean, if you're a leader, someone has to be subordinate to you.
So it's not like you actually need
then just own it. Just say that. Just own it.
Assistant.
Men
It's
and
more
women
that
are
you
not
just need
equal.
to make her feel like she is.
No,
for her
men-
to stay.
here's
So she
the thing.
feels trapped, like she can't do anything else.
No one's putting a gun to her head saying, hey, you have to stay with me.
Yeah.
She could choose to leave at any time.
Okay.
The thing is that when you are that guy, she's not going to go anywhere because she knows that she could be replaced. Women
Right.
typically get in line when you have other women in line. You'd be surprised at how being in your frame, women will go ahead
Do you
and
think
follow
that
you.
sounds healthy? Or does it sound a little toxic?
Well, they wouldn't be in a
Absolutely.
relationship
I
with
don't
him if
think-
it wasn't healthy.
I don't think most women
They didn't
would
like it.
want
They
to
wouldn't
be
be
that.
there.
To just feel like a constant stress of being
They
replaced.
wouldn't be in a relationship with him if it wasn't healthy. Oh, never mind.
Do you guys want to be
What?
replaced? Like feel like replacement is a thing?
What? I was gonna make an age joke and I decided not to. I'm holding it back. Okay.
An age joke?
Yeah. Because that sounds like something a 20-year-old would say. Well, why would somebody be in a relationship with somebody if it wasn't healthy? Like, plenty of people are in unhealthy relationships. Like, what a thing to say. But I'm thinking like maybe she hasn't been in like an unhealthy relationship before. But there are also probably a lot of 20-year-olds that would know that those types of relationships are unhealthy. And by 24, you absolutely would know. So that comment was exclusively for 21 and unders. Okay. Okay.
In your relationship.
Are you okay? Is that an okay answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely want my man to lead, and I want alpha, for sure.
Yeah, I would want my man to lead. Retweet. My man to lead, and part of the reason that I'm my best self is because I've had a man to lead me and help me learn things and just be a better person.
Maybe this is a stupid question, but like, what do they mean by lead? Like, I don't get it.
He already told you. Were you not paying attention?
No.
Imagine somebody comes busting through the door. Who's going to be the one like calling out tactical positions?
No,
Who's
I
going to be
mean
the one calling for
outside of that,
reloads?
outside of that.
What do you mean outside of that? That's everything.
Oh.
Okay, no. Seriously though, imagine that you're going to walk home late at night and 7 of the routes are deadly and armed with assassins, and 1 of the routes is actually safe. Like, who's going to be choosing which route to walk home? This is the example that Andrew Tate gave on the BBC. He said, "Well, if I'm going to be in charge of women's safety, I should be allowed to dictate where we walk home at night." None of these people give examples. This is why when I have conversations like this, I always give examples because they don't ground out any of their examples of real relationships. What do you mean by leading? And this is such a good example to ask a relationship on, because like, let's say that like you're going to take a new job as a guy. Are you going to say like, "Hey, honey, by the way, I know that like your family live here. We're moving tomorrow." Like, are you going to lead in that way? In a real life relationship, there is no leadership. It's always a partnership.
Yeah.
You can't do something that your partner like, "No, I don't want to move to Idaho. Like, we're going to divorce. I'm sorry," right? You're always making these decisions in conjunction with each other, unless it's an area where only one person has the expertise. So, for instance, when it comes to, it might be for living situation or moving, the husband is the one that makes the calls because he's the one with the job and he might have to move for work. But like, if the woman is like a stay-at-home mom for like household stuff, she might be the one that ultimately decides, are the kids going to play football or soccer? Are we going to go shopping for clothes? What kind of cleaner are we using for the whatever window? When are we going to schedule lawn, dude? Like, it might be the woman making those decisions there, and then that roles can reverse depending on who's doing what.
Is that
But,
the
yeah.
case in like tradcon households? Like the stay-at-home mom makes those decisions?
Absolutely. Yeah. The mothers are in real tradcon households, not in the weird version that some of these guys half sell, where women are like literal children that can't do anything. In an actual conservative household, the mom is the bedrock of the house and she runs the household, right? And even in like wealthier social
picks
circles,
what sports and like.
arguably, yeah, because the mom is usually the one that's more involved in the school. Because the mom is a stay-at-home mom that she's helping with the schoolwork. She's like going to parent-teacher conferences. The mom is the one that oftentimes it takes the kids to school because the dad's the one working and bringing home the bread for the family. So the mom is usually the one managing the kids. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I just imagine it like if the mom were to give the son like a Barbie, like when I think very, very tradcon, it'd be the dad who ultimately like takes it away, and then that'd be like the final decision. Like,
sure, but like in a tradcon house, mom's not giving the son a Barbie.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also as they get older, I don't know if this is true or not. I have had people email me this, but I don't know because I was never part of these circles. But supposedly in wealthier households and higher social circles, the woman is also the one in charge of the social standing of the household as well. So the woman is the one that's like managing memberships to prestigious clubs. The woman is the one socializing with other wealthy people or neighbors. The woman is the one making these connections saying like, hey, on Saturday night, we're going to go out to dinner with the Humphreys and blah, 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 blah. Because I talked to her wife or whatever, that women also do a lot in managing social standing for wealthier households. I don't know if that's true or not, but I had 2 people email me and tell me that. So, yeah.
I would want my man to lead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I hate the notion of like men lead and women follow or whatever, because in traditional households it is very much like ultimately the men are the head of the household, and like if it comes to people breaking in and like fighting for your life, the man's going to do it, but it's very much a partnership, and women have like a very, very important role in the household, and it's seen as like an equal partnership thing in terms of responsibilities, whereas the man is ultimately like, I shouldn't say equal partnership, the man does sit at the top of the hierarchy, but the woman is like a really respected position. But these guys have no respect for women. It drives me crazy.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye.
Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.